This is the tactical repeating crossbow. It's got a 7-bolt capacity magazine. It's got the self-cocking system. It's got extendable stock, which also makes it easier to actually cock it if you take it on the back here. For people who are slightly weaker in build, maybe females, and it's got the front grip here. That's normally on the picture of the crossbow on the box. It's turned around just to use as a front sort of rest, comfortable rest for your hand. In this case, it's turned around to be a part of your cocking aid system. So your hand never leaves this when you're using this system, and the only movement is going to be from your actual shooting position back onto your cocking position. So your hand just moves from here to there, where traditionally with these self-cocking crossbows that are single shot, you'd have to put your fingers here and then cock the system, and then, take aim again, taking your fingers away from here, because now a bolt's going to come flying off the rail. So that's why this is better, it's safer, and it's easier. So I'm going to demonstrate it in a minute. It's got broadhead bolts. It takes plastic shafted cheap bolts, the ones with the steel tips, and it takes standard aluminium bolts, and these broadheads with the aluminium bolts. The aluminium shaft. So I think that's everything that I actually have to say about the system. This is the back sight, the pivoting arm that actually pushes the bolts down, and then you've got a front sight here that clips off, and you can slide on your flashlight, your red dot sight, your laser, whatever optics you want to slide onto it. So I've tested extensively with aluminium bolts, the standard aluminium bolts. I've not tested as much with the broadhead bolts, so I figured with the introduction video I'll load up some broadhead bolts and see how it goes. So this is the broadhead bolts. They are exceptionally sharp, so very deadly. Even with the standard aluminium bolts, the field tip bolts, I would say this system is already deadly, and now you including, or rather introducing, this broadhead hunting bolt into the equation. So here we have 7 bolts in there, and as you saw, I just sort of lift this up with my finger and slide them in, and this will be in the way of your sight picture if it's empty, so that you don't actually have to look on the side of the weapon to see if it's empty or not, or if you have a shot left or not. So let's give it a go. There you go, empty. No glitches, didn't even look to see if the bolts are seated properly. That's how much confidence I have in the system. I've done extensive tests with it for months before I decided to actually put it out there. So if you're in South Africa and you're interested, get a hold of me. You can email me. I'm sure you can find the email. I'll also put the email in the description box at the bottom. And we can talk about configurations, popping laser on it for a couple bucks extra. Also, I'll show you quickly my personal one, just to give you an idea of the configurations that you can come up with. I've got a little personal made front sight. It's a little fiber optic, little green fiber optic. So the sight picture that I tried to show you earlier, you might be able to see it better now with that little guy there. Anyway, so I've got a laser at the bottom, and sighted in well. I've got, I can put down range within 20 seconds, empty the magazine out. I got plastic shaft ones in here. You can see that's the insert that you pop in to make sure they sit nice and snug. Not a lot of rattle. The rattle you're hearing is this little piece I got in the back, so I can hang it on the wall. So if I hold that, you can hear it's hardly any noise, hardly any rattle. A little bit of rattle. Anyway, I got an aftermarket grip on mine to make space for the laser. The laser will fit in the top Picatinny rail, but I use it for a flashlight during load shedding. If you don't know what load shedding is, if you're watching this from overseas, it's rolling blackouts of electricity that happens hours on end in South Africa. So yes, this is my personal one. Show you the insert, how that works. I just showed you popping off broadhead bolts without any issue. So maybe I'll shoot these plastic shaft ones quick while I've got everyone here. There you go. So yeah, that sits by my bed normally, and it's ready to go. So this is a stock standard one. It's a grip you get, front side you get is just normal black. Everything's stock standard to keep costs down. So yes, we can talk about combinations. Got lasers available. I got a couple of red dot sights available to go on the front. They might not be available by the time someone gets a hold of me, but maybe I'll have new stock. So talk to me. Broadhead bolts, I should have those because they're high in demand. And the standard aluminium bolts, they come with the packages or the combos. And yeah, only in South Africa. I'm not shipping abroad. If you watch this video and you're from abroad, you can contact me still. I can refer you to people on your continent at least that does the same thing. So that should help in that regard. If you live in America, if you live in Europe, I know who sells similar systems. So get a hold of me.